August 31st, 1997, dawn in Paris. After the horrific crash in the Alma Bridge tunnel, forensic experts carefully examined the items recovered from the wreckage. In Dodi Al-Fayed's jacket pocket, they found a small piece of paper stained with blood. At first glance, this seemingly insignificant note was written in Princess Diana's handwriting and held the key to what really happened that night. Inspector Claude Beaumont was one of the most experienced detectives in the French police force. He had been assigned to lead the investigation into Diana's death. When he first held the piece of paper in his hands, he thought it was just a love note. However, upon closer examination, he realized that what Diana had written was far more complex and disturbing. The note bore these words in Diana's handwriting: "They are following me." Henri was right. Tomorrow will be too late. Tell Charles, protect the children. C knows the truth. If this letter is found, please give it to someone trustworthy. D. Beaumont took the note to forensic experts. Handwriting analysis confirmed it belonged to Diana, and ink analysis showed the note was written just 2 hours before the crash. This meant it was written during Diana's final dinner at the Ritz Hotel. The investigation team immediately went to the Ritz Hotel. They questioned the staff who had served Diana and Dodi in the Imperial Suite that night one by one. Waiter Paul Hennessy said he could never forget that evening. Lady Diana looked very tense, Hennessy said. She kept looking around, as if she suspected someone was watching her. During the meal, she whispered in Dodi's ear several times. Once I saw her crying. Chef Henri Michel remembered that Diana had made an unexpected request during dinner. She asked for paper and a pen. She said it was very urgent, so I gave her a napkin and a ballpoint pen. She wrote something, and after folding the paper, gave it to Dodi. In light of this information, the true importance of the note began to be understood. Diana was aware of a situation threatening her during her final meal, and was documenting this threat. Beaumont focused on the phrase, "Henri was right," in the note. He questioned Chef Henri Michel again. Although initially reluctant to speak, he eventually told the truth. That evening, Lady Diana came to the kitchen to watch the meal preparations, Michel said. She asked me a strange question. "Henri, if someone wanted to kill me, how would they do it?" I was very disturbed by this question. I asked her why she was asking such a thing. According to Michel's account, Diana had been constantly feeling followed in recent days. A few days earlier, she had been receiving suspicious phone calls. The callers were asking where Diana was and who she was meeting with. Lady Diana said to me, "Henri, it's as if someone knows my every move. If something happens to me, know that it wasn't an accident." These words frightened me greatly. Beaumont's team tried to decode the rest of the note. Understanding who C was in the phrase C knows the truth was critical. The first person that came to mind was Prince Charles, but this was a very risky assumption. As the investigation progressed, it became clear that C might be someone different. When Diana's close circle was questioned, the name Colin Tebbit emerged. Tebbit was Diana's private security consultant and was examining the threats Diana had been receiving at that time. The meeting with Colin Tebbit was shocking. He revealed that Diana had met with him 3 days before her death and shared her serious concerns. Lady Diana told me about strange incidents she had noticed in the past few weeks, Tebbit said. She thought her phones at Kensington Palace might be tapped. Her car was being followed. She had even noticed that her personal belongings had been moved from their places. According to Tebbit, Diana was particularly worried about one thing. Someone has very detailed information about my private life. They know things that only my closest friends know. This means someone on the inside is leaking information. This explanation clarified the knows the truth part of the note. Diana had discovered the plot against her and had given this information to Tebbit. However, when the investigation reached its most critical point, it encountered an unexpected obstacle. The British government intervened and requested that the file be classified for national security reasons. Beaumont was ordered to close the case and never share his findings with anyone. "It was a very strange situation," recalls Beaumont after his retirement. "We were just investigating a traffic accident, but it was treated as if we were dealing with an international espionage case." Diana's note was kept in classified archives for 25 years. However, in 2022, changes in the French legal system allowed the file to be reopened. The note was re-examined using new technologies and analysis methods. Forensic experts didn't just analyze the handwriting and ink, but also examined microscopic traces on the paper. This analysis yielded surprising results. Diana was very stressed and agitated when she wrote the note. Her heart rate was faster than normal, as evidenced by hand tremors. More importantly, besides Diana's fingerprints, other fingerprints were found on the paper. These prints did not belong to Dodi Al-Fayed. This meant that Diana had shown the note to someone else or someone else had held the note. Dr. Sarah Pembridge, a handwriting expert, examined the file and analyzed changes in Diana's writing style, reaching surprising findings. "Lady Diana's handwriting was very different that night," said Dr. Pembridge. "When we compared it with her normal correspondence, we see signs of extreme stress and fear. The trembling of letters, the cramped writing of words more than usual. These are typical characteristics of someone experiencing mortal fear." In light of these findings, they tried to reconstruct Diana's final dinner that evening. Security camera footage was re-examined. The recordings had been deleted, but some images remained on the backup system. The footage showed Diana frequently looking out the window while dining in the imperial suite. Once she stood up and parted the curtain, as if checking outside. She was agitated while talking with Dodi, and frequently moved her hands. The most striking moment was when Diana wrote the note. The cameras couldn't see the note clearly due to their angle, but Diana's facial expression was clearly visible. While writing, her eyes were teary, and her face showed a mixture of fear and determination. Retired Inspector Beaumont spoke openly for the first time after the file was reopened in 2023. "The note we found 25 years ago was proof that Lady Diana's death wasn't just an accident. However, due to political pressure, we couldn't reveal the truth." According to Beaumont, Diana knew that night there was a concrete threat against her. The reason for writing the note was that if something happened to her, she wanted the truth to be known. "Lady Diana was a very intelligent woman," Beaumont said. "She sensed the danger in advance and tried to leave evidence." Unfortunately, that evidence was hidden for 25 years. After the file was reopened, attempts were made to contact Colin Tebbit mentioned in the note. However, Tebbit had died in 2010. His family revealed that he had been constantly anxious after Diana's death and didn't feel safe as someone who knew the truth. A letter Tebbit had left with his lawyer before his death was found. In the letter, he had written a summary of the information he received from Diana. Lady Diana believed she was under very systematic surveillance and monitoring in recent weeks. The purpose of those conducting this surveillance was to gather information about her private life. However, Lady Diana suspected this was more than just a smear campaign. According to the letter, Diana was particularly afraid of one thing: the safety of Princes William and Harry. Diana thought that if she was harmed, her children might also be in danger. This information clarified the "tell Charles, protect the children" part of the note. Diana was trying to warn Charles to protect the children in case of a possible attack. In 2024, a BBC documentary team prepared a program about Diana's note. Retired MI6 agent James Morrison, who spoke for the program, said that most of the mysteries surrounding Diana's death could be solved. Lady Diana's note was part of an operation that intelligence services were aware of at the time, Morrison said. However, the details of the operation are still classified. Perhaps the whole truth will emerge in 50 years. According to Morrison, Diana's death was indeed an accident, but the series of events leading to the accident was not coincidental. Someone directed Lady Diana to that night, that place, those conditions. It wasn't an accident, but it wasn't murder either. It was part of a much more complex game. The final part of the note, "If this letter is found, please give it to someone trustworthy," was also examined separately. research was conducted into who the trustworthy person Diana trusted might be. In an interview with Diana's close friend, Lady Sarah McCorquodale, it was learned that Diana had been planning to give her a special task in her final days. Diana had told me that if something happened to her, certain documents should be delivered to the BBC, McCorquodale said. However, we never received those documents. Diana had said she had stored them in a safe place before her death. This revelation showed that Diana's note wasn't just something written at the last moment, but part of a larger plan. As of 2025, Diana's note still leaves many questions unanswered. Who was following her? Why was it hidden for 25 years? And most importantly, what exactly was the truth Diana mentioned? While complete answers to these questions haven't been found yet, the existence of the note continues to question official explanations about Diana's death. Diana, with the few lines she wrote during her final dinner, had left her hope that the truth would one day emerge to the future. And perhaps most importantly, the note shows that even in her final hours, Diana was thinking of her family. Her desire to protect her children was stronger than even the threats against herself. Those final words written in Diana's handwriting were the strongest proof of a mother's infinite love for her children and her determination to protect them, even in the face of danger.